All right, football guys talking softball, FGTS. Sooners cruise to the Big 12 tournament title. Run ruled Iowa State 9-0 in 5 innings on Friday. Also only allowed 1 hit in that one, which is, sometimes you see the runs. You're like, oh, wow, they scored a lot of runs. They also, 1 hit. Pretty good. Pretty solid.
Crazy.
But
yeah,
that set up a Red River rivalry Big 12 championship game between the Sooners and the Longhorns. And, well, they smacked the Longhorns around 6-1. That was fun, man. That was fun to watch.
no, it was very good. I think, did Texas jump up first with that home run, or was it 1-1? And
it was 1-1. So Haley Lee hit the homer. Then they answered.
Yeah. It was good. Got to see some good pitching in there, good defense as always, good base running as always. Just a total team performance once again, man.
So first of all, and this may be stupid, right? And I know people listen to this podcast for our hard-hitting, analytics-driven softball minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really like the fact that OU was wearing crimson and Texas was wearing burnt orange. I love that look, man.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Like,
yeah.
Could we do that in football, or would it look too weird?
I think you could, but
USC and UCLA do it, right? With the red and the blue, and it's like the most aesthetically pleasing like jersey matchup in all of sports when you see it. I don't know, would it work? Like in the Cotton Bowl, Texas is wearing burnt orange. I don't know why I just said the word orange like that. And the Sooners are wearing crimson. Like, that could be sweet.
As long as you're not colorblind.
That's
what everyone says, like with the color rush games, is like for folks out there that are colorblind, especially, I imagine red and burnt orange look the exact same to someone that's colorblind. So that would be the only thing I could say.
I was part of the color rush colorblind game between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. We wore all red. They wore all green. And red-green colorblindness is a very real thing, apparently. Just like watching two teams in gray play each other, I guess, is how it looks.
That's wild. Yeah.
But, no, I just like it.
Yes.
Maybe it works in everything but football, right? I would like to see it in basketball. That'd be fun. It was just a cool look, right? The crimson and the burnt orange. I don't know. I like it.
Especially in baseball and softball, it absolutely works. You know, because there's not a whole lot of not real interaction between the two players. Like, you're not passing it. You're not going to accidentally throw it to the runner, the base runner.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a good look. I didn't even think about it at the time.
I see. That's what I'm here for.
That's
to bring up the important issues. But, just thinking about that Big 12 championship game, you just can't make mistakes like Texas made against the Patty Gasso team.
Yeah.
Right. They got more talent than you already. You can't, Gutierrez she can't throw the wild pitch. You can't get an out for a runner leaving first base early. Right. You can't make, a routine throw from center field, like turn it into a throwing error in, what was that, the 6th inning, and hand Oklahoma another run. Like, you just can't do that stuff and expect to beat Oklahoma. You can't. And Texas made all of those mistakes. Now, let me make something clear. I was very glad to see them make those mistakes, but you can't make sloppy mistakes like that and expect to beat this team. You just can't do that.
That's the benefit of being as good and as talented as Oklahoma is. Everyone else feels like they've got to, and maybe they do, but feels like they've got to make extra plays, do extra things, and step outside of their capabilities, and it leads to mistakes. It leads to leaving the base early, throwing errors, stuff like that. And Oklahoma is just steady as she goes, lean on you with great pitching, lean on you with offense, lean on you with great defense, and at some point, the other team is going to break, going to fold to the pressure, going to try and do something that they don't necessarily need to do in the moment, and it's going to cost them. That's really the game plan. Whenever you're the more talented team, the more efficient team, that's the way to win games.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point because the Sooners don't feel that pressure, right? Now there's pressure with being the top dog, right? You've got the championship belt, you're back-to-back champs. You know you got a target on your chest, on your back, like you got a target all over your body, right?
Mhm.
But they probably never feel like they have to do more than their best, right? They
Yeah.
they don't have to do anything extra
Yep.
to win the game, right? That's they get to carry themselves with that type of confidence.
Yep. It's like the routine whenever you're the underdog, the routine feels like the impossible. Like you take a grounder to short and you're up against Oklahoma, the clock just speeds up in your head, right? Like I've got to go faster. I've got to make a harder throw. I've got to be quicker with my hands, and you really don't. And that's how you just that pressure feeling like you have to move quicker is where you make the mistakes.
Well, you may have to move a little quicker if
Yeah,
Jordy
you. I
Ball
mean,
is
you
on the
do
base
on
pass.
on some stuff. Yeah, she can fly. Which that's another thing. They had her dead to rights at second, right? Whenever she stole, it was a
Yeah.
great throw by the catcher, and I don't know if it was the shortstop that fielded it, but just dropped the ball, and you instead of an out, you give, you got a runner in scoring position now.
Yeah. I mean, Jordy Ball she can fly.
Yeah,
That's fun to watch. Like she's a really good pitcher, but she might be better at running.
yeah.
Like she could go, but you mentioned the pitching. Other than Nicole may made one mistake,
Yeah.
right? Missed a location badly on the home run she gave up. But other than that, the combination of May and Ball in the circle. I mean, I'm no softball expert, but they looked dominant. And also, it seems like they caused a really I don't know if it's abnormal or not, but there were so many pop outs from Texas. I felt like there was like 10 of them just
I don't
flies
know.
into the infield, like just straight up in the air. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the game plan.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's some pitches you can get a ground out. Some pitchers you can get a pitches you can get a pop up. Maybe that's something that they were throwing a rise ball or something and getting some of those pop ups. I don't know, but yeah, I thought that, and it's hard to tell on the broadcast because the camera is not straight down the middle, but I felt like Nicole May was not getting the edge of the plate on the right side. And maybe it was just the camera, but a lot of those I'm like, gosh, and it looked like her and the catcher were thinking the same thing, but I thought a lot of those, like she just wasn't getting that pitch. And I think it forced her to maybe end up putting a little more down the middle on some where she usually would be throwing a little further on the outside.
Yeah. No, but
I don't know.
you think about the lineup in that game. I mean, all the firepower that's in the top four of that lineup, right? Coleman, Jennings, Sanders, Lyons, 0 hits from that group, and you win 6-1.
Crazy, right?
It's nice to have talent and depth. I mean, it's very very nice. But love the fact that OU fans are still mad at Mike White. He deserves it. Keep booing that man. That is so funny to me. It's so funny. But now we're recording this before the selection show, and we are working diligently with our man Patrick Dunn there, the SID for softball. We are working diligently to get Patty Gasso on the podcast before the postseason starts. But Ted, I am fairly confident that OU is going to be the number 1 overall seed. They're going to host a regional there in Norman, and they will be the heavy favorite in said regional. I know I'm going out on a limb, right, because the selection show hasn't happened yet, but I feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah. And definitely going to host a regional and a super regional.
Yep.
Here's what's interesting. I believe if they continue to win out, the last game they ever play at Marita Hines Field will break the all-time record for win streak.
break the UCLA record.
Right.
Nice. That's awesome.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Worked out pretty good. That's why they threw that game against Baylor back in the regular season. So it all matched up perfectly, right?
Create some drama.
No, I think that math is right. So that would be like, if you could pull that off, that would be really cool.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. We will be doing some more football guys talking softball over this next month or so, because
That time
people
of year.
this time of the year, that's what the people want. They want softball, man.
That's right.
It's crazy what this program has become. Like, it is the unchallenged number 2 most popular sport for this fan base. They love it, and I love that they love it. So guess what? We're going to give them what they want. We're going to talk some more softball.
Awesome.